Good afternoon, cherries. It's Thursday and still feeling pretty good after that Brighton game. I was going to put out a reaction video in a bit more depth on the Wednesday, but I was uploading all sorts of videos and I thought let's just have time to settle down. So I'm going to go through some 5-word match reports later in the video because there were loads that were submitted. I don't know where my microphone is. I think I left it in the car, so talking a little bit loudly, so hopefully you can hear me from the camera today. But yeah, still got such a good feeling after that Tuesday night match against Brighton. For the first 25 minutes wasn't so positive, but then it changed on that moment from Rico with some excellent work from Dom Solanke feeding Rico and sort of brushed the side netting, but that just gave the team so much confidence. And there were a few things throughout the game that I just thought was so much better. And it indicates it is a sort of mental thing, really. Players were playing with fight and determination and this grit that we've not seen for quite a while, and it was really great to see. But let's just wind back before the game. I actually got tasked with Robbie. Robbie, hello mate, if you're watching. I gave a ticket to US Cherry, so there is a USA Cherries Twitter account headed up by Zach, and Zach came and met me before kickoff, and he'd travelled 3,600 miles or so to get to that game against Brighton. He's been before to the Vitality, but my God, like he tweeted like 24 hours before saying, I'm currently 3,000 odd miles away. I'm hoping I make kickoff, and sure enough, I met him outside the 1910 bar. Now the match he went to previously before that was the Chelsea 4-0. Comes to Dean Court, we win 3-1. Start to think he's a lucky charm. But then if you've seen all these people across social media are saying all sorts, you'll have seen Rob and Vinny on the YouTube channel saying it's the lucky flag. I ate with Andrew and Lucy at Harvester before the game. The last time we did so was Man United, where we won 1-0. Starting to think we should be doing that. People wearing their lucky underpants. I was in the South Stand, someone said, for the first time since our last win. Maybe it's because of that. And so many people are bringing out all these superstitions. But of course, there's another one. Kanye, power. Before the game, as you can see, it rang out at the Vitality Stadium. We didn't quite lose Sweet Caroline, but do you remember at the start in the Championship season and before that, it was an extended version of that first part until the teams came out, and then the crescendo upon that. But it was good to have the light show to that, and then we had a bit of Neil Diamond after that, fair enough, which is it's still not liked by many people, is it? But it got that feeling. It was one of those things, like, for the first 20-25 minutes, we were giving our all and not really seeing much in return. But then, on 25 minutes, when things started to change, they fed back, the players fed back, and then we increased our decibel levels as a result. It is a two-way thing, but it really does help when we're all together. And there was one particular part in the second half, I thought I filmed it, because I had my phone. It's like an extra, it's hard to explain, but I don't want to be holding it up. But it's like strapped there. It looks like a police body cam. And I thought it was recording, like Eddie Had a Dream. It was probably the loudest I've heard it since Southampton at home in that 2-0. And it was so loud. Unbelievable. It was like, and I could, sometimes when you're singing in the moment, you can't quite tell how loud it is, but you could hear, and everyone was on time. It sounded amazing. So from being a Brighton fan, I'd have loved to have heard what it sounded like from their perspective, but really good atmosphere. And it was quite interesting, the first goal that opened it up, actually, when Philip Billing had the ball, I and many others were clamouring for him to get it out wide to Rico straight away, because that's what would have been the natural ball. And then when he lofts this ball forward, you think, oh, what's he doing? But you can see on the replays, it's something that they're changing up and switching up intentionally. As soon as he got on that ball, Callum made that run forward. Now, you will have noticed during the first half especially, well, I did in the North Stand, that the Brighton forwards, attacking players and midfielders were pushing. Frano was so deep on goal kicks. Ake was the other side and trying to sort of keep them forward. But they were doing very well with their sort of pressing. And so that long ball from Billing, when you've got players that are pressing up against you, it's creating this massive gap in the middle. And of course, I think it was Dunk headed it out, but then you've got this huge space and it was picked up by, what was it? I can't remember now. Solanke, was it? The second ball, which then fed Harry Wilson. And then he finished really well. And I've got to say, at the time I thought, oh no, where's this going? But it's obviously something they're trying to do to mix it up. So I was really pleased with that. And then as soon as that went in, it was like a weight had been lifted. And then the second goal, I thought it was Callum and he's still claiming it, but apparently it was an Oggy. So good. And then the second half, the second half was absolutely brilliant. I just think that that game, it is the start of something that could help us survive, and it's just a mentality thing. Now, of course, I think the issue for us is that, yes, that game was pretty vital. Sorry, I'm just on my laptop here because I'm getting the 5-word match reports ready. Yes, that game was, pretty vital, but in a way, the match against Aston Villa coming up is actually more vital, because we've won these random kind of odd games before, like Chelsea away. We've managed to get points that we didn't expect, say like Arsenal at home, but we never followed them up with a decent performance, and getting 2 in a row is vital. So it's actually more key that we go on and get a result against Aston Villa, who themselves will be very much inspired after their performance against Watford, which I thought they did very well to their credit. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one, but one that we've got to win. And with those 2 games in a row, then you think, wow, this could be good. But of course, we've got the dilemma now of Arsenal in between, and I think that momentum now is key. Momentum is key. I think we'll see some changes, but I don't expect the likes of Dobre to be fielded, or even Sam Surridge. I think we may see like Lloyd Kelly, perhaps, players like that. I've got a sneaky suspicion Josh King might be more ready than we think, in which case, game on. That'd be a good game for him to come back in for a bit of fitness. But yeah, surely expecting Lewis Cook. We'll have a preview, nearer the time of that, but we'll see what happens in Eddie's press conferences. And yeah, it's just a much better time to be a Bournemouth fan, and it's not like we scraped to 1-0 or something like that. We were 3-0 up, and I tell you what, the goal times. Do you know how similar they were to the Bolton game? Every goal was 3 minutes earlier than the Bolton game, like pretty much bang on. I think we had like 34 minutes for the first goal. And then the next one was like on 39 or something, and then the third goal was on 74. It was like, oh yeah, that kind of importance match. And if we win 3-0 every so often, I'm happy with that. But you were all happy too, and it was so nice to see some real positive 5-word match reports. So I'm going to go through them right now. So Greg said, I still believe in team. Paul Kenwood, it's about bloody time, guys. Happy birthday on Tuesday, Paul. That one was for you, hopefully. The South Coast is ours, said James. Worth the 6-hour round trip, said Mark. Steve, Fraser and Rico were immense. DC and Washington. We trust Eddie. Let's change that to we trust Lord Eddie Howe. There you go, that's 5 words. Ian Reid, pound for pound, still top. Alan Gard, 200% effort all round. Hope you're doing okay, Al. Nobby Dog, great result, more work required. Keith Brewer, Albion blocked and I'm happy. Yeah, Boscombe Albion on Twitter. I might have to stop this for a sec, just to have a chat. Obviously on the podcast, and if you saw it on YouTube or the download, I kind of went on a bit of a rant about how for some fans it was almost the default reaction to turn on fellow fans and criticise them for having pro-Eddie views. Some people were getting blocked off forums and stuff, which was absolutely pathetic. And it's almost their first thought. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to the match, and you know, it works in my favour if Bournemouth don't pull out a result from the bag, because you know, I can at least enjoy my Schadenfreude. That's basically, if you don't know what that is, well, lots of people do, but some people have been saying on Twitter, like, what's it all about? Taking joy in others' misery. Like, you're a fan. If you're wanting to enjoy misery so much, then why do you support Bournemouth? Because we you know, we're a relatively successful club. You should be going to somewhere where victories are maybe less forthcoming. But yeah, I've invited you onto the podcast and you still haven't accepted. The phone number is 01202 90 10 48. I'm not going to be a dick to you, but all I want you to do is just explain your thought processes. You can email if you want, probably as you prefer typing. Maybe you'll do that, but either way, I'd like to have you on the podcast. But until then, stick to Twitter and all your keyboard stuff, because that's all you're capable of, unfortunately. I've got a feeling it's someone's second account. Bit fire and forget these tweets, because it kind of sent and then you don't see any reply for 24 hours. I'm sure you're just waiting for Frano's next mistake, in which case, fair enough, but you are a bit of a dick. Let's carry on. AD Mansbridge, Seagulls choke on rampant cherries. Andy Jennings, 4 a.m. Heathrow drive, more palatable. Yeah, didn't you go to Glasgow, Andy? I think I read somewhere. And you still got there before the National Express coach that left before the Brighton game. Mad. Simon K, whole world in his hands. Cherry press squeezes rotten seaweed, said Rob. Win with less possession again. Yeah, Brighton had the lion's share of it, didn't they? Like, first part of the game. Didn't know that was the case overall, so there you go. I'm ecstatic at the cherry, said Louis. Nick Smith, well, that sharp Boscombe Albion up. Again, another reference. If you're not on Twitter, don't follow him. Stephen makes fun watching football again. Yeah, DJ Mischief. Mighty Cherries, cull the gulls, never in doubt. Up the cherries in all departments, etc. Where did that come from? Said Mike. Yeah. Ryan Fraser, Aaron Ramsdale, immense. I could read out the names, but I'll just go through a few opinions now. Much better team spirit. Powers back, so is AFCB. Revenge is best served cold. Switch flicked after 30 minutes, due with another reference to Kanye Power and Tom Jordan. As ever, you hope you're doing well, mate. Massive win. Fighting spirit is back. And yeah, doubters, leave our team alone. Ramsdale, man of the match. Eddie Howe, you genius. Aaron Ramsdale, great win, massive turning point, said Aaron. And Michael Snowden said the same, England's number one. Yeah, really so good to have all your opinions. And yeah, just delighted with the way it's panned out. Unfortunately, you know, the result, some other results haven't quite gone our way, but it doesn't really matter. It's in our hands, but we've got to follow it up with a win against Aston Villa. This has been a garbled video, and I do apologise, but I'm going to compose myself ahead of Monday night's match. It will be great to watch football with the sort of anticipation of, you know, maybe I might enjoy it again. We'd love to know your thoughts and what we should do for Arsenal. Should we be playing the youth? Should we be maintaining the same team? Should we be chucking in a few of those players that need the minutes, like Lloyd Kelly, for instance, and Lewis Cook? Let me know in the comments, and until then, I hope you have a good rest of the week, and well, see you over the weekend and towards Arsenal on the Cherries. Back in the day!